Hi there, here's a quick tutorial on how to send us your graphics. First things first is the program you're going to be using is called Adobe Illustrator, and the file format you're going to save it in is EPS. If ever you are using Adobe Photoshop to work on your graphics, you can always save those as EPS, then import them into Illustrator so that you can use our templates. Also make sure that the file name you use is exactly what we send you on the pro forma invoice, thus avoiding any errors if you have numerous graphics on your same order. So color-wise, we have two graphic options. Your first option would be flat color printing, which is also known as PMS. Pantone matching system. This would be for flat solid color artwork. Second would be 4-color process CMYK, which is more for pictures and shaded artwork. Most of the graphics that will be sent in Adobe Photoshop will be in CMYK format, where you'll have to save them as EPS and import them into our proper Adobe Illustrator templates. So here on screen you'll find an example of our template. Basically, you have to use the template for every graphic you submit us, either if it's in Pantone or CMYK, in the right deck size to make sure that your artwork is processed accurately. Don't forget that your graphic design must cover a 35:9 rectangle, which is exactly where the blue area is here. To allow 1 inch of bleed all along the board size. So basically, if you have a 7.5 inch board, well then the graphic design should be 9.5 by 33. If you're using our templates, then everything is pretty simple, as we have one template for every deck size. So basically, you just delete here the blue area, and then you can see the skateboard outline. So 1 inch of bleed will basically bring you right where that blue area is. So we'll use two different styles. If you're using Pantone, we have the color guide here below, where you need to put in all your swatches on there. So I'll open up the first type of graphic we'd be working on, which is a flat color printing PMS Pantone matching system. So just a reminder that that would be for solid color artwork. So basically, the separation of flat colors is a process that consists of isolating one layer of color after the other. So layers will be overlaid one after the other until the final image is obtained. Colors must be chosen with the Pantone color swatch. So how to do it? The first thing you want to do is determine each color that needs to be reproduced on a specific layer. So each color will have a layer. So if you look, for example, here, if I click on the background layer, you'll see right here which layer is selected, is I can take out all of that color. I can do the same with the pink color, and I can do the same with the lighter color. So if I take all three layers out, I'm back with the original image. Doesn't matter in which order they are, as long as I can isolate each one of these layers here. So basically, second thing you want to do is every outline must be simplified to its fullest. So every curve must be rounded off as much as possible. Thickness of the outline must be at least 2 points as well. So here you have your stroke weight, which you can make sure here all the lines are nice and thick, so that won't be a problem at all. But anything that's very, very small, small fine lines such as small fonts, will have to be in minimum 2 points. You can click on the line and bring it to 2 points. All fonts must be saved as outline, which is pretty simple. If you're using a font writing, I'll give you an example. Make this a bit larger so that you can see it. Basically, to make sure that whoever is using the program with your graphic doesn't have to download the font if if I don't have it, say perhaps on my computer, then you would simply create outlines by right clicking on the font, and there it will vectorize the whole font. So I do not longer need that font. Basically everything is vectorized and will appear as is, whether or not I have that font installed on my computer or not. So only Pantone colors can be used on the file, which you can find if you open up the swatch library here. You can see in color books, Pantone solid coated is what we're looking for on this end. And I can see if I select each color which needs to go in the color guide here, you can see that the colors are all in Pantone. Same thing on the graphic. Each color I'm taking is a Pantone color. Very important, there cannot be any CMYK. If you're vectorizing a graphic and using Pantone, it's very important that you match the color properly. If not, we will find a closer match, or it might get printed as CMYK and the results would not be as good as originally intended. So here again, once you're done with the file, save it as an Illustrator, EPS, CS2 versions or lower, in the proper 35 by 9 rectangle document size. All images embedded, no transparency with the PMS solid color, no fades, and everything will be good to go. Second style that we're looking at is the CMYK. You'll see the template is a bit different here because I do not need to input my color from the swatches here, because everything is built out of 4 main colors, which would be yellow, magenta, cyan, and black. So basically with CMYK it's a photomechanical process of separation of colors. So each color is built with those 4 base colors. You cannot do any color changes using this graphic as I could do with Pantone, because once it's done, pretty much the image will be reproduced as is on every print that you choose. So CMYK is a bit more simple. If you're using Illustrator to do it up, then please make sure that you're selecting CMYK as a color to do this, which you can play around with all of the different colors here to create a mixture of color that you want to use. Transparency and gradients are accepted in CMYK color table. And same thing here, save your file as Photoshop EPS. The rest is pretty straightforward. Again, you shall use the templates in 35 by 9, allow the proper bleed, and place your graphic as you wish. If you have further questions, please email us and it'll be a pleasure for us to help you. Thank you for listening to this and wish you the best of luck with your graphic preparation. Cheers.